Hey, welcome to today's stream. Yeah, we're gonna be proceeding, and we're gonna be taking everything from scratch. Just as usual. And as you know, this is the kind of hands-on learning that you haven't seen before all over YouTube and all over all different platforms. We're taking it from scratch, and I'm giving you everything that all the rest of the mentors from all these different platforms have been leaving out. So be ready to learn, be ready to get everything right, and be ready to write a project from start to the end. And now we're going to be compressing the two projects we did previously in the first and the second session into one and giving it a clear communication channel, and doing some bit of visualizations, adding a bit of classes and objects as you're going to see as we move forward. However, I'm going to take back everything back to scratch, back from zero. So if it's your first time to join us, do not be worried. You're going to get everything spot on, so you don't have to worry that I wasn't there in the first session. However, if you want to get everything we covered, go visit the first session. It's already in the description below within this particular stream. So just check in the description. You're gonna find a link to the first video, or you could just go to the channel of Achilles Akesho and check out Project One, and then later go to Project Two, and then you'll come to this particular project. However, keep around and learn, and then you can go back later. So let's give it a few so that people can join us, and we'll proceed at the sharp time of the start of the stream. That is at 6 sharp EAT. Thank you. Let me catch you in a few. Yeah, we're gonna be starting in a few. I was just trying to respond to some people, um, you know, because they received a notification last evening about today's stream. So just was trying to wait for them, but we're gonna be starting in the next 5 minutes. Um, the stream for tomorrow is gonna be at 8 p.m. I apologize. They're a bit irregular because of the other activities going on, but very soon they'll be normalized and they'll be all happening at the same time, which will be good to also get people used to the time of the stream. So that will be happening and nothing to worry about that. So help me share the link to your colleagues, any fellows that you think this will be great. If you have certain groups and you feel those people will benefit from this, so you could shoot it to them and you tell them that it's going down already. They should come through and join us. And I'm also reminding people right now. Yeah, there's a lot that has been missing in the programming world actually. You know, especially with the tutorials that are being pushed out there. You find that you watch the whole tutorial and whatever you're learning about is really babish, and like I've spent the whole session just learning variables, and you know and it ends and it tells you to go to another video, which is interesting, but it's not really worth my time. It's really not worth my time. Yeah. So we're gonna be starting. Just also reminding a few people here who told me that I could get to them. Uh, Most cases because of traffic. Um, but then, yeah, so I think, hope I got it right. I hope you don't mind the music I'm playing in the background. Um, it's basically to keep us alive as we hope to start anytime. Yeah, so I'm done sharing people what they need to know, and I think now we're good. Let me just check my stream a little bit here. I tend to use two screens, whereby um, one has to one has to show me what I'm displaying, and just to be sure that I'm having the right display, and so that I don't actually ask a lot from people whether it's the right one or not. So we're gonna be starting in a few minutes. Okay, great. All right. Okay, so this is where I get to start our session today. You're most welcome to today's stream. I really appreciate you being here today. So I really appreciate. Um, okay, so I can see some people are sending me some bit of emojis, which is great. So just basically to verify if I'm loud and clear, if you can hear me properly, you could simply you know send a message in the chat so that I can get it, and I'll be very confident that you can hear me properly and everything is good. So please just do that. Then I'll have it right. I can see we have 9 people already on the stream. That is great. That is great. I'm really happy to see you all. And I believe, I'm very sure so many people are going to be joining us from several streaming platforms. We're streaming on LinkedIn, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on Twitter and Twitch. So those are the platforms. So feel free to stream from any platform you wish. However, YouTube will do you great. You'll be having live feed, and it will be great to also interact with you. Though, even if you text me from LinkedIn, I'll surely get your message and I'll reply, and you'll be able to see me at the same time. You're able to see the message come to you because we are using a robust platform which is premium, and thanks for their sponsorship for us to be streaming there. So good to see you, Majak. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been a while. Deng Peter, good to see you. And thanks for the message that you can hear me. Okay, great. So the content is clear. Perfect. Yeah. So to begin, I'll just mention a little bit where we are at the moment. Just to fix these headphones to make sure everything is good. In most cases, I want to hear whether I'm loud and clear with myself at the same time. Yeah, so previously we tackled a few. I'm going to reduce the background music. It was really there to keep us going. I'll just keep it on a low so it's non-distractive. Yeah, so from project one, like I mentioned, if you can check the description of this stream, you're gonna find out that I put two links for you, and that is the link for the project one and the link to the project two. So basically, these are implementations of the projects. This we wrote code for these particular projects, and we did testing, and we saw some bit of results, and we've been building onto those projects up to where we are today. And I'll encourage you that after today, you can go back to them and you could do the same thing that I've done, try to master it, go through the video as more time as possible until you find that you're really confident and the code is clear. I'm trying as much as possible to see that my code, I explain this code thoroughly and very slow. I tend not to go fast, and I'm actually going to reduce the way I'm speaking so that I'm really not moving fast. Everybody can hear me, and I try not to make my English loud and clear, and so that even if you're not from English is not your first language, you can actually hear me. So happy to have you all here, and happy to see the numbers growing. And also, the first video did so well. I appreciate. I saw about 500 people streaming this video, which is really, really perfect. And like I mentioned, that this is the only way you can pay me back by watching and learning. And when you're successful, one day you'll be like, I learned from that guy right there, and that will make me happy. That will really make me happy. And at the same time, I'm making all this kind of streaming for my grandchildren as well. So anytime they'll be like, yeah, I want to learn programming. So I'm making it so easy so that they can also learn it um, whenever they come through. I don't know whether it's in which century, the grandchildren. I'm not certain. But anyway, this is Edison Kagona Igende. I have a third name. In most cases, I use two names, and those are the ones that are familiar to people. And some people prefer to call me Matt. But I'm Edison Kagona, and I work with quite a number of organizations, but All of them, it's all about software, it's all about innovation, it's all about entrepreneurship, it's all about business scaling. So I'm just within the industry of building talent and transforming you to build solutions that can better the community socially, economically. And at the same time, the focus of almost all the projects we're going to be doing are going to be focused on solving problems in the environment, because we have a big issue called climate change, food insecurity, and we need to do a lot about our agricultural motherland, which is Africa. That is the greatest economic activity. So we need to build a lot of solutions that are focused onto that particular sector. And that is why Akili Zakesho, basically bridging the gap between technology and nature. You may find other videos on on my YouTube channel. Do not be worried. We also dealing with the issue of mindset. So just like they used to say that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Oh, and we also had another saying of, um, it was saying that work without play, you know, work without play. So we are having another section, another playlist within the YouTube channel where we go off the programming and then we talk about the social aspects, what happens in our lives every day, and what is success mindset. So when you see all that, I don't want you to feel discouraged, but I want you to listen and put in your views so that you also step away from programming and then later you come back and you're so innovative. So basically, this whole thing is all about Python to the world from scratch, all the projects we're going to be doing. And then in the near future, we're going to be tackling JavaScript, and also we shall tackle C programming. So keep the comments coming in. Feel free to ask any questions, and I'll be getting back to answering them. And at the same time, you could like, you could share to your friends, you could subscribe. So those are the beautiful things. And if you subscribe, you'll not need to even wait for my email, but you'll receive a notification when I schedule a programming session, a streaming session every day. You'll receive a notification and you will not miss anything. So the first project was basically agricultural produce pricing system. And I was mentioning that in many African countries, farmers face challenges. For example, limited access to market information, price volatility, and inadequate financial literacy. And I was saying that we're going to build a program that empowers farmers by providing them with a straightforward tool to track their sales and make informed decisions, ultimately contributing to improved livelihoods. And this is what we did in our project one. Check in the description below and you'll be able to check it out and you refresh yourself with it. However, in every video, I give you a refresh so that you understand where we have been and where we are going on the project. And you'll never have issues if you're in university. Working on your final year project is going to be easy because I'm actually giving you everything without skipping nothing. So the agricultural produce pricing system basically was, we designed it to basically assist farmers in Africa in calculating their total revenue from selling various types of produce at local markets. And this project basically addressed several critical issues faced by farmers, including fluctuating market prices, the need for accurate revenue tracking, and the importance of financial planning. And we're going to be building on both the projects plus the second project, which was the solar energy usage tracker, which basically looked at how in many African households, we do rely on solar energy uh, due to unreliable grid electricity. And without proper tracking of energy usage, the households may not utilize their solar systems effectively. So the program I wrote in project 2, which is in the description below, it helps users monitor their energy consumption, promoting sustainability and encouraging efficient energy practices. So if you're from IT, computer science, software engineering, electrical engineering, all the engineering, you're welcome onto this. And if you're from business, law, and all those other different disciplines, you're also welcome, because we're going to be tackling visualization that cuts across all the different disciplines. You need visualization. You need to understand how you can work with data better than how we've been doing it before with the Excels, with all those different MATLABs, before. But how can you use Python and you deliver things real quick, professionally, and you know, so that you can keep your job, you know? So, so great to have you all here, and we're moving forward. Yeah, I can see Tasker, if that's your name, YouTube name. Yeah, surely you're saying I nearly missed, which I couldn't afford. Yeah, that's an amazing feedback. So help me share out to all your friends, to all your groups. You never know, that's where another person is, who never wants to miss this. And like I mentioned, it will be happening every day. Only subscribe and you'll be receiving notifications of my schedules. I schedule them hours before so that you can plan ahead of time. And I started that yesterday, so it should just be very okay. The one for tomorrow may happen at 8 p.m. because of lots of innovation schedules that are going to be happening through the day. Yeah, so I've talked about the two projects, and I remember we did technical breakdowns of both projects and we implemented them. However, today we are now building on to that, and we are integrating both projects. You may have wondered how different developers bring pieces together and then they make them work, one working on one project and the other, and then they integrate these projects together. Or you may have wondered how you could work on a program in one file and then it's able to communicate with another program in another file. Let me put it clearly right here. If you studied objects and classes and data communication within software development, then you understand what I'm saying. Message transfer, message communication. So we are looking at bringing these two together to form what we call a software. Now, a software is a collection of programs. A software is a collection of programs. And a program, you could define it as basically a collection of the different units of code. If I'm to just use that other statement, different units of code, or is a collection of different algorithms, you may say, or different pieces of code. They form what we call a program, provided there is an input, and then there is a return at the end. There is a result at the end of the day, because a program should be tackling a specific problem, then a software is tackling problems because it's a collection of different programs. So help me share it out, and I want to see people joining. I don't wish to really move so fast, then people join and be like, "Oh my God, you very far. I didn't see you reach there." So yeah, so this is what we're gonna be tackling today, and I'm trying to also look at what people are saying. You know, yeah. Hope you also love the music playing in the background anyway, if you can hear it, because I turned off sound from my background so that I'm clear. So what are we going to add in the different programs that we do? Yeah. So if um if I can just go back and okay, let me talk about this. Then I go to the code and then connect it to the dots, and then make you understand what I'm trying to say. So we are going to incorporate classes, and we are going to add bits of data structures. So I think you can see the projection. You can see how I'm moving you to the expert level. And that's why I say that even if you're a beginner, intermediary, or expert, this is for you. You need to be here. You need to learn. Because I mentioned that if you feel you've learned a lot, then I want you to go to the Turing website, and then I want you to take on their challenges. And if you can pass all their challenges, which are about 5 or 6, then you don't need to be part of this conversation. You don't need to be part of my trainings. But if you haven't passed them, then you need to be here because I work for Turing as a tech lead. And that means I'm not at a level of just a developer. I'm beyond a level of just a minor developer, but I'm a senior software engineer and developer. That means I can program in more than two programming languages, and I passed all their challenges and highly, I passed them to be a tech lead. I didn't come from developer to becoming a tech lead. No, I did one interview throughout all the 5 and 6 and 7, and I became a tech lead. And I scored so highly. And I think I'm going to be sharing my profile so that most of you can check it out for Turing, my employment profile by Turing. So that you always look at it and you look at how I scored and how I passed all the different sections, so that you know that you're having a very good teacher right here. And you don't need to go on so many other places of people who are going to play around with you. So anyway, we're going to create classes, and we're going to create classes. Now, we haven't done anything to do with classes. That means if you've joined today, then you're going to learn how to work with classes. So a class basically is more like a class you attended of any subject. And inside that particular class, there were objects. For example, there was an object like a student, there was an object like a lecturer, object like, even your laptops and the desks and all those different things inside the class, they're objects. And those are the things we create inside the class. And then we write functions, which could be methods, basically to make them behave in a certain way. For example, you could program a laptop which belongs in a class that you attended to be able to do a particular service, and also a lecturer to do a particular service and a student to do a particular service. So in the future sessions, I'll be linking some kind of links to the different content you can check out if you want to check it out. But I give you everything through my talking and description moving forward. So we're going to create 3 classes to start with. So we're going to create an agricultural produce class, and then we're going to create a solar energy usage class, and then we are going to create an integrated tracker class. So you can see how we are now integrating all the other 2 files into one. You're going to see it practically, hands-on, to see, so that you can say, oh, I put these different pieces of code together. And you can do the same with any bit of, with any program you may be writing. So the agriculture produce class is basically going to handle the produce data and the revenue calculation. So we are going now to make it handle the data and then the revenue calculations. And then the solar energy usage is going to handle the solar energy tracking and the efficiency calculations. And then the integrated tracker is going to manage both systems, which I could say both programs, and allow seamless interaction. So this is what is going to happen, and trust me, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind because it's going to happen. It's going to blow your mind. So if you're watching from LinkedIn, please throw in your comments. Make your comments in there. Like, I can see quite a number of people in there. If you're on Facebook, do the same thing. If you're on Twitch, do the same thing. If you're on Twitter, great. So I appreciate you all. Some names are really very hard for me to pronounce, but I wanted to pronounce one name. But you're doing a very great job to be part of this stream. Okay, now apart from the classes, I'm going to introduce the data structures as well, practically, and we're going to use dictionaries to store and manage produce and energy data. So we're going to see how a dictionary can help us to manage produce and also manage energy data. And also, we're going to create lists for storing multiple entries of produce or energy data for daily tracking. Now, in the future series, I think in the next or within the coming series, I'll talk deeper about data structures, and I'll show you different segments of data structures, and because data structure is a subject within computer science and is one of the cores of programming, because from data structures we start defining algorithms based on the data structure. So anyway, We shall have that session. But then you're going to get it practically. That's what matters. And then by the time I tackle that, you basically reflect and be like, wow, you have made life easy. You have made life easy. So I want to appreciate every one of you that has joined. Teska is saying that I'm a beginner, meaning I'm in the right place. Surely you are in the right place. And if it's your first time to be here, stay here till the end. And also, do not forget to check out Project One and Project Two down in the description on YouTube. So you just have to come to the YouTube to our YouTube channel, Akidi Zakesho, then come to this particular stream or video on Python Power, basically speaking of the advanced integration of agriculture and solar tracker project. And you basically check out Project One, go through it a number of times as much as possible so that you can write the same code and you can easily apply the same code to any other problem. And then go to Project Two, do the same thing, then after shift to this particular project. However, even if you started with this project, you can easily shift back and life will be very easy. So happy to be having you all here. I'm having a friend on LinkedIn, quite a number of messages he's sending, but he's trying to appreciate everything, and he's saying that finding skilled engineers is tough, and finding teams that truly understand your business is tougher. So that's the kind of thing he's trying to share with me. And it's like he wanted to share some results from the different companies he's worked for. So, that's amazing to see, and very happy to see that you've worked for several companies. If you're into software development, I'll advise you to try out Turing. So you can try out Turing. And I think it's the highest paying in the world. So I don't see any other software development company that is better than Turing. So you could check out Turing. I'm a tech lead with Turing from the Silicon Valley. So you could check it out. And if you trust your skills, then you could test yourself and see whether you can pass the challenges. And if you do, then you'll be having remote jobs every day, anytime you want. There'll be quite a number. You will not want to even go to any workplace to do any work because you have a lot on yourself. Most people wonder why they be like, in my neighborhood, they always like, I get out from my house in the evening. That's what they say. They're like, no, that one gets out at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or something. And the whole day I'm never outside. It's because when I'm working on projects, I work 8 hours a day. However, there is a way I do it. I either work at night or I work during day. I'm running a Center for Innovations and Entrepreneurship at Cavendish University, Uganda. So if you're within the country, you can check me out on Tuesday or Wednesday. So you find that I break my time in a very tricky way. I have to run the center, and I'm always there in the morning to evening on specific days, Tuesday, Wednesday, most especially Thursday as well. Though in most cases, I go out in the field to meet with partners and all those different people that support the center. Then you find that other days like Monday, Friday, I may work during day at home on software and also giving you this show. And then at night, I'm working on everything to do with the Center for the Innovation. So plus also some other things with Cisco, with IBM, with quite of the others that may have, skipped out of my head. But what is more important and interesting is that everything I'm doing is coordinated. Everything is on innovation, software development. I'm mentoring people, and mentoring is my best, is my favorite. Like I told you, this is my favorite place when I'm talking to you because I'm telling you things from my experience and I want to share all the knowledge I have. Anyway, let's proceed. Don't mind me trying to explain a lot. It's because I'm trying to mentor, I'm trying to show people direction. At the same time, I'm giving them the skill. And I would appreciate if you appreciate it. So thank you so much. You're free to put in any comments in the chat, even if it's not about programming, it's about career, and I'll be able to speak about it as we proceed, which is a break to the session as we move forward. So basically, explanation from what we're going to do. Classes. So basically, each project is going to have its own class that handles its specific functionality. So that means we are going to revisit the two projects, and we are going to create classes within those projects. So that means even if it's your first time to be here, you're going to be able to do it in the first project, and also we do it in the second project. That means you've lost nothing. You just have to go back and learn the things I covered previously in project 1 and 2. Then integration, the integrated tracker class ties everything together, allowing for um, uh, easy management. Basically, I didn't finish that statement. And then we are going to write methods. So you're going to learn how to write methods. It's like we've now covered the whole subject of Python. So each class is going to have methods to set data and then perform calculations and then display the results from there. So that's going to be the methods. And then after there, we shall expand the functionality of each class. We put more methods for different calculations, and then we shall create user interfaces or command line interfaces to interact with the program. And then later we shall test the integration thoroughly to ensure smooth functionality. So we're gonna be moving into code. So hope that has been clear. So thank you so much to you all who are still streaming with us. I really appreciate it from all streaming platforms you're in, and I really appreciate it. So keep up there every day. Just subscribe to our channel, and you'll be receiving notifications whenever I schedule a session. Yeah, so we're gonna be moving into code, and I'm gonna be stepping away from the PowerPoint. Tesker, I think Peter is saying happy to hear that. I am one of data science students at Cavendish University. I appreciate it so much to see that you're here. And I'm now shifting to the programming side as I speak. There is beauty in, I want to say that there is beauty in public learning. Um, if you're learning publicly, if you're learning with people from different geographies, it's much more than learning within a very, isolated, I don't know, there's less you capture. But anyway, as we move, I'm now going to share my screen. I'm going to first share the entire screen, my entire screen, so that you can see what we do. Okay. Okay. So I'm now sharing my entire screen. I want to make sure everything is good. I want to make sure everything is good. Yeah, I think everything is good. I wanted to first share my entire screen. So basically, I think I'm writing code in here. So we had created our folder. You need to create a folder on your desktop or anywhere on your computer. And then if you have any challenges, you just have to put them in the chat. They really help me to put them in the next stream so that you get it practically. Instead of for you dying alone. So this was basically a virtual environment that we created. We created 2 sessions in here. So I had requested you to download to um, to download uh, um, them. And just to get it right, VS Code, and also you need to download Git Bash. Okay, it's Git. It's not Git Bash. It's good. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sure. So I'm just trying to show you basically this is what you need, and I'll just put it in the comment section there for you to get the link, especially people who are joining us for the first time. So even this one here, you download it and you get it for yourself. So those are the two that you need to move forward. So I'll now just move back here, move back here. And what happened? It actually told me that I don't understand what you're asking me to do. So I'll just try to check it out and see what it's trying to say. Yeah, so it has opened. Maybe there was something I didn't, something I don't know. Yeah, the good thing it has worked. I've made it work in a second. So that's what matters, that it's working. I don't know why it was saying no. Okay, so someone is saying my network is breaking. All you have to do is you go where the setting is. So on YouTube, you go where the setting is and you basically increase your resolution. One thing you should know is that I'm streaming in 1080. So 1080 is really big, 1080p. So that's full HD over there for you. Then it will get me right. Yeah, it will get me right. Okay. It was from Desire. Desire, good to see you. Good to really see you. She was one of my students um, time when she joined university, and many of you in there, but I remember her because she was one of the best students in programming during that time. So yeah, I appreciate to see you here. Um, okay, let me see. Where are we? Yeah, so this is where we are. So we're gonna be tackling these two projects. But before we tackle them, I wanted to show you something on visualization, which is part of the three projects. So let me just create a little folder, a little session 3 here. I'm gonna call it session 3. We shall build further onto it. So don't worry, I'll just call it session 3.py. And I just want to show you something on visualization to do with session 1, to do with session 1 and session 2. So we completed these two sessions. This was in project 1 and this one was in project 2. So I just want to show you something to do with visualization. How do you handle visualization? You know, and then later when we do the integration and everything, then everything is going to come out smooth for you. So how do you handle visualization? So let me write a comment. Let's do something real quick, and then we shall matters if I have something to show you. So let's write a visualization fast project. So in most cases, when you're handling visualization, now this is where data science comes in. We have Matplotlib. So you'll need to install Matplotlib. Yeah, Matplotlib. Inline is when I'm using Jupyter Notebook, so it's PyPlot. Things. So you'll notice that you may have this kind of yellow thing down here, depending on the this virtual environment is very, very important, and you need to create virtual environment so that you can do what I'm trying to do. And how to create the virtual environment within project 1, if you go to the description, you'll see a link, you'll actually get to know how to create it. However, how to activate it, you basically have to do source, then the folder name, which is my env. Then inside my env, my own then it has worked, and I think you can see right here matplotlib. Sometimes the spelling of this word, it's somebody needs to name their child matplotlib. Yeah, so that it comes out well. But anyway, it installs, let's over a week. Surprisingly, the laptop I'm using to write is the one I'm using to view you guys. So anyway, let's look at let's set days, because we want to do an example data for revenue over, let's say, a week. So basically, I have to write the whole week. With the comma, then Tuesday. By the way, writing Wednesday, writing is part of programming. You know, the more you do it, the more teacher. Thursday, then Friday. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Created a list of days, that's Monday to Sunday. Then let me create revenues being collected on these particular days. Revenues. So let me create a list of revenues and say that maybe we we collect 1,000, then we collect Tuesday 500. Doesn't really matter. Then we can collect 200, and then we can collect 1,800. Yeah, let me speak like a Kenyan. 1,600. It's very common in Kenya and so many other countries. 2,000, and then 1,700. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7. So this is how you create lists. So you have a list there. I would even use dictionaries if I wanted. So now we're gonna be moving forward. So thanks for the likes. I can see them via LinkedIn dropping in. That's great. Okay, so now that's how we create them. There's something I wanted to mention. Yeah. So what I wanted to mention was that you can notice that with the strings now, with words like Wednesday, Tuesday, or it could be your name and etc. We basically use those. So I think you can see them in action. We put them into these different braces, and then for integer, for numbers like 100, 150, integers, floats, you don't need to put them inside these because they are known to the kernel. They're known to the operating system. So when you're writing this program, so as you run the program, there are buses that transfer, this script, there is translation to machine language, and it's being transferred to the kernel that interprets everything from the back end of the computer and the operating system as it communicates, and then gives a feedback. So these are known to the kernel. They are known to the operating system. I think that is covered within computer organization and architecture. So you could check out that class. I have about 3 degrees, so in IT, computer science and software engineering. So I was very serious during class. So let's handle the plotting revenue, plotting revenue trends. Okay, so let's deal with the plotting and we see what we can plot here. So basically plotting, we imported already matplotlib, and you see it's over, it's not there. After it has installed everything here, so the marker goes out, everything is in the virtual environment, everything is good. So now we're gonna use it by basically calling PLT. So when we come down here, we have our data already here. So we just have to just do plt.plot. and then we shall be able to have that plot. So plt.plot. Now plot is a function. So what do you want to plot? So you want to plot days, then you want to plot revenue, then you want to plot, let's say, we can put a marker, and we can put a marker and put 0 on the marker, basically. So revenue. So here the spelling was different. Revenue has to be revenue. Revenue. This is revenues. So it has to be revenues. Yeah, exactly. So that goes away. Okay. So we may also plot a title. So we can do plt dot title. Now I'm a combination of so many things. I'm a senior data scientist, and before becoming a data scientist, I was a software engineer. Um, I worked, and then I became a tech lead and worked with developers all over the world. So that got me grasp most of these things. I've taught software engineering in university, both bachelor's and master's level on different principles. So I'm a mix of different things. So if you see me integrating data science in code, it's because of this experience and what I felt is relevant to the industry today. So now we're gonna have a title: weekly revenue trends. Now we let's plot the x-axis. So there we just do x label. So we have x label. So what do we want to have on the x-axis? We can say that we want to have the days of the week. Days of the week. So away from that, let's plot also the y-axis. So you basically have to do PLT, and then you do the y label. So then we plot revenues, and I remember our revenues were in Kenyan shillings when we did uh, the math. So revenue, we just have to say revenue, and we put Kenyan shillings. Just basically to show that this is in Kenyan shillings. It's just a statement, the revenue in Kenyan shillings when it's plotting. So on the y-axis, it's not a big deal of what to put there. So let's do a grid. I'm gonna be reading the comments, so keep them flogging in there. So I'm gonna be reading them. So we're gonna do a grid. So grid is a function. That's why it has those two brackets. I think brackets. I keep hustling with these things. I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna check them out. It's because I always don't have to tell them to anyone. I expect people to be knowing. Okay, now we gonna do the X ticks, and we're gonna do a rotation, and you're gonna see what I'm trying to talk about in action. So we're gonna do a rotation of 45, yeah, and um, from there, let me see. Um, X ticks, rotation 45, PLT. We do a tight layout. These are just functions, so you basically add them and you can just read about them. So anyway, let me stop there. Let's do plt.show so that everything shows up. So show is a function, you know. Yeah, so everything should be good. Since I'm streaming, I don't want to play any music that is copyrighted. It will be crazy. But anyway, the moment I run this, it's telling me marker. Where is the marker? Where did I put the marker? Looking for you. Looking for you. Da, 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 da. Right here. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. So what else? It's telling me this. Oh, sorry, I love a lot of music, so there has to be music playing in the background for me. It's not distractive. So yeah, so that's what we get. Finally, we get it right. Yeah. So anyway, those are the different hustles you go through when you're trying to crack an egg. So uh, I guess you can see it. Someone has mentioned something to me. I guess. Uh, I keep getting a lot of people who want to give me jobs. I don't know. My LinkedIn is filled up with people. Um, okay. Okay, great. I'll check out these people later. There, everywhere. Yeah, but I believe you guys are gonna take on these jobs. Yeah, so I guess you can see what we have. It should make you smile, really. We've done this plotting in just a few minutes, and it's really out. And I actually do this for corporate companies. I develop these trends for them, and they don't need to have a PowerPoint full of notes, but then they just have to have this particular thing, and everything is good for them. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, let me get back in a second. I just need